Hello everyone, I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Guys, Plarium did something that they've never done before, and that is to change a Fusion's Champions kit during mid-Fusion, okay? They've never ever done that before, and I find it pretty strange that they decided to do it. But basically, they changed something on Yu-Gi-Oh's kit, and we're gonna check that in a minute. Of course, we have another couple of things that I want to mention. One will be the upcoming events for this weekend, because we were very curious to know why we don't have a champion chase tournament for this fusion. What's happening exactly? Anything crazy, anything very interesting? Considering that it's Black Friday this weekend and Cyber Monday next week, we thought that maybe something extremely special, but we're gonna get to that in just a second. So if you are checking the news right here, you're gonna see that we have the Bounty Deck of Fate event. So basically, this is what we have instead of a champion chase tournament, and you will get gear out of here as rewards for flipping cards. Killstroke, Divine Speed, and Mythical gear the same. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. We had one of these before, okay? It had Cruel gear, it had many other sets. This time around, just having Divine Speed and Killstroke, even though they're good sets, absolutely. I would love to get Divine gear from both of them. I don't think this event is worth it anymore, because here you need to summon. The gear sets themselves, while are good, are nothing spectacular like Cruel or other sets that are more important. So personally, in my opinion, for me, I'm not gonna bother with this event, okay? And not necessarily just because it's about the summons and stuff, you know. But if you wanna get points in here, you gotta summon and you gotta get artifacts. So you will have to summon quite a bit to complete that event. Now, because the next event that I'm about to mention is not bad, so most probably a lot of you guys will summon anyway, look at this as a extra thing to get rewards. Basically, this Friday, November 24th, they're planning to launch an event to get 2x chances to summon epic and legendary champions from ancient shards. So basically, that will go all the way up to 16% for epics, 1% for legendaries. This Saturday, November 25th, they're planning to launch a 2x event to summon epic and legendary champions from void shards. Again, will go up to 16 and 1%. This Sunday, November 26th, they're planning to launch a 2x event to summon epic and legendary champions from sacred shards, guys. So nothing involved with primals, just so you guys are aware. Basically, sacreds, ancients, and voids, you know. 2x chances. So yeah, nothing spectacular. Usually they used to do this during their anniversary and Christmas. Recently, they started doing this way more often than before. So it's just another regular weekend, in my opinion, you know. But of course, some of you guys might get lucky and pull some awesome champions. That being said, let's move over to the main topic. And I know a lot of you guys will be annoyed by this. Some of you guys might even get frustrated about it. Personally, it leaves me cold, okay? Because regardless if this was gonna be different or not from the beginning, I was still not going to engage with this fusion. And let's have a quick look at the champion. So basically, he has this passive, okay? Whenever an enemy is revived, instantly activates Earth Puncture. If an enemy is revived by a champion from the Lizardman faction, the effects of Earth Puncture cannot be resisted. This passive effect will only activate when an enemy is revived using an active skill. So this right here will have a 1-turn cooldown once you're gonna book it, you know, and sounds interesting. Now, they made all this big fuss that is an anti-revive champion. It has nothing to do with anti-revive. Actually, is not doing anything against champions that revive, basically, you know. So it's not an anti-revive. It's just a champion that will use a skill whenever the enemies revive, and that skill will just remove buffs, basically, okay? So overall, he's a good progression champion, you know, like, if you don't have a Madame series, if you don't have a Ryan the Conjurer, if you don't have champions that's 3 buffs, or if you need another one to progress in the lower tiers of Arena, yeah, he's definitely usable, you know. He has a very unique A3, which is pretty interesting. Increase accuracy, increase defense, increase attack, depending on what sort of champions you have on your team. So again, pretty interesting, you know. But then Plarium just released this message, guys. So let me just quickly bring it on screen for you. Hey folks, some cool news about Ugear the wire meter. The team is making some technical changes to the battle processor flow, meaning that Ugear the wire meter's passive skill will be affected by these changes. Though his passive skill will be triggered not only when the enemy is revived using an active skill, but also by passive skills or revive on dead buffs. So such champions as Sun Wukong, Marichka the Unbreakable, etc. will be able to trigger Ugear's passive skill. This change will go live in one of the upcoming updates as it requires a bit more time to be executed. But just wanted to give you a heads up in advance. This to me sounds all over again like Fortus and other champions that, yeah, we're gonna fix them, you know, just wait for it. And it will happen at some point. So honestly, it doesn't make me change my mind. If this champion would have had the exact same kit, it would have meant zero difference to me before. And it means zero difference to me now. I know some of you guys will be like, well, maybe I was going to fuse the champion because of it now, because it will be more impactful for me because I might encounter a lot of Son Wukongs in arena. I might encounter a lot of Marichkas, and I think that this will be a bit more beneficial. And I definitely understand your point. In a way, I don't think they planned this. If they were planning this, they were gonna tell us as fast as possible because this is counterproductive for them. Of course, they're not gonna plan to be like, well, let's buff the fusion or let's change the fusion in the middle of it because we're gonna get more people to do it. Because a lot of people already skipped the first fragment, so it's not doable anymore because this is the very first fusion that doesn't allow you to skip any events, you know. So personally, I don't necessarily think that is a big deal, you know. Like, I would understand how I mentioned if some of you guys will be a bit like pissed off because maybe you were gonna fuse this champion, maybe it was gonna be a bit more interesting for you. But the problem that I'm seeing is still that it's still kind of like doing the same thing. It's no anti-revive mechanic. Yes, some Wukong will revive. This will proc the skill, and basically it has no turn meter manipulation. It has no crowd control whatsoever. So Son Wukong will still have that full turn meter to take the turn after and use his skills regardless, you know. So I don't think that this will affect him. Now, of course, it can work against Marichka. Can it really work against Marichka, though? Because Marichka is going to revive all the team, and she doesn't really bring them any buffs whatsoever. The next champion that revives brings buffs. So basically, think about it in the following way. Son Wukong or Marichka will revive, okay? Will proc this passive. And let's just say Marichka revive the rest, and one of the revivers that got revived by Marichka's passive will revive the rest with buffs. Well, this champion will have this on cooldown, and he won't be able to take a turn to use this instantly and remove the buffs, if that was such an impactful thing for the majority of you guys, you know. So I don't necessarily see that this is a game-changing thing. I'll be honest, that's my opinion on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I do agree that things like this should be planned ahead a bit better. They're saying it's some technical stuff that they were able to change. Now, I have no idea about this. I'm not a coder myself, so I'm gonna refrain from making a comment on this topic as I have zero experience with it. You know? So I don't know if it can be something like that or is something else. We do have champions in the game that kind of like interact with all the revives, like the Doom Tower champion, you know, from the Lizardman faction, I think. Basata. Might be from the Lizardman faction, if I remember it correctly. But this will be the change for the champion, guys, on his passive, so it will trigger on any sort of revive. Let me know in the comments down below, would this be enough to make you go for this fusion, guys, leaving everything else on the side, or you would be pretty much in the same spot, like, nah, I'm not gonna go for it, you know, like, it's not really gonna do such a big difference anyway, you know. Very curious to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. As usual, let me know if you are tempted by this weekend summoning event, guys. Are you planning to open during these 2 axes, considering that we don't really have another fusion? I'm personally going to save my shards for the Christmas fusion. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen for that, and hopefully a future 15x progressive on Yumeko, and to be the only champion like this one. This with Cardian is actually not bad, because it's already better than the 10x. It starts at 15x directly, so it's a plus considering that there's only one champion involved. So this is a good event like this. When they add more champions where you're forced to select multiple ones of the same affinity, that's one is not a good event. But like this is better. It's still a whale Kraken event if you're unlucky, because you need a lot of shards to get up to the 25x. I would have preferred to have directly a 25x replacing the 10x, but hey, it's not the case. That's all for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Appreciate every single one of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.